call it swag, some call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. An elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome to the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, and the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Texas Longhorns, taking on one of the participants from last year's playoff, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. The Longhorns will get us underway with the opening kickoff. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Gives it on the option. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers to that.
And the Buckeyes will hustle to the line.
Message sent. Not only did I just stick him, I'm going to give him a few words like, hey, listen, bud, you want to take off and scramble? I got plenty more where that came from. Great job by the defense, setting the tone with some physicality.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up, get some movement at the point of attack, and find a little crease for your running back.
Softened him up with a run, and now to throw. Makes the catch. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
The Buckeyes come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Might be changing the route. From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. The Buckeyes line up to punt it away. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. Takes it on the return. Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Off play action on first down. Picked off, and the opening drive is stuck with an interception. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Now, I love night games because you have all day to get excited, get jacked up. And you can tell, QB might have been a little too excited. Forcing the ball into coverage on the first pass attempt, creating the interception. Now this defense has set this offense up in a great position to get some early momentum.
They go to the ground. Turning it on. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down. You count up those explosive plays in a game, and you put a little extra star by the big runs.
Yeah, this running back is a weapon, boy. He is so good in space. He's got shiftiness. He can make guys miss. And if this guy gets into the second level, watch out. He can hit a home run.
And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Can the D deny them on second? The Sneak scores it!
The defense knew coming into this game they were going to have their hands full. Not only did they have to worry about these running backs in the running game, they had to worry about the quarterback as well. On designed runs and on scrambles, they didn't have an answer for him right there.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Makes a move. Out of bounds at the 40, and why they return to set up the offense here. And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
The Longhorns in a good spot here with second and short. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Breaks into the open. They stop him at the 42, but they get it across midfield, pick up 10 and the first down.
These running backs nowadays, they're built so low to the ground, thick and compact, but fast and shifty. They're just so hard to tackle. And you can see he just does a great job breaking tackles, breaking tackles. He does this consistently. That's why he's really hard to stop at the running back spot.
Wants to throw on first down. Buys a little time. He'll pull it down and run. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
And now on second down for this offense. Looking to fire. Oh, they're after him. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Yeah, and you don't see that often, right? This guy is elite. He's one of the best in the business. This is what he does for a living, obviously. That's why he gets paid millions of dollars. Yes, NIL is real. So I don't expect many misses from this guy like that.
The horseshoe is rocking, trying to help their defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete. The Longhorns decide to punt it away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. First one of the day is on its way, and he's been sort of scarce around here, only called on one time in that loss last week. He couldn't find much running room there, didn't get a lot of blocking, and he'll step out of bounds. a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Throws to the wideout. It's caught. A little more space. Open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the side.
Oh, he's got some space. He's inside the 40. At the 20. Touchdown, Buckeyes. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
This offense is high octane, boy. You just saw it. Not a lot of time needed for them to go all the way and score 6. Well done.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. So now the Longhorns take over and they'll send out the offense. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. Gets it out quickly. Still running at the 40. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, get him the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
Open the drive with a chunk play out past the 40, and they are in business on first down. Lost one deep down the right side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. The play action fake. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And after the big play to start the drive, now 2 straight incompletions, and they need to find a way on third down. Using his feet to buy time. On the run deep down the right side. It's caught. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
And the Longhorns are moving quickly down the field. Looking downfield on first down. Now adjusting. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent, but he's making bad decisions.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
Wants to fire on second down. Makes the grab. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Takes it from the gun on third down. Good timing on the quick out. Across the 40 out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Here's the handoff. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here, and they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. They largely dominated the first quarter and built a nice lead to get started. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Wants to go up top. Takes his shot. Got his man to the left. Open space at the 25. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
And this defense is figuring out early in this football game, man. They've got to be dialed in because this passing attack, it's lethal because they get it to their speedsters, and after the catch, they're really good. Got to tighten up that coverage and get those guys on the ground when they catch the football.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. It's incomplete. Good job by the defense sticking with its coverage.
This quarterback, man, is scary fast. I think sometimes he's too fast. I think on a play like that, sometimes when you're on the run, you just want to sort of settle yourself a little bit, get your feet under you so you can make a more accurate throw.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Got the back over the middle. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. Bully ball on third and short. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it first and goal. And the Buckeyes want to move quickly. From the gun, he'll try to throw. Takes the easy one to the back. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Ohio State. How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5?
All you can say is how impressive has this team been at home today in all three facets of the game. Their defense has been outstanding. We've seen some plays in special teams, and the offense continues to deliver, showing off all of the playmakers and all of the versatility they have on that side of the football. This could not be better here in the first half of the home team.
Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Here comes the Texas offense. They've got nothing done so far, and they already find themselves in a 3-possession hole, Jesse.
Yeah, and as a head coach, you're wondering, what didn't I say? What didn't I do to get my team ready to go? Because we look like we're sleepwalking at this point, Dave.
Yeah, nothing went well in the first quarter. You just say refresh. Like, let's try to find a way now. Chip into this lead. Try to make it somewhat manageable when you get to the half.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. He lobs one high down the left side. And here's the 3rd interception of the night. He goes out of bounds, but he creates the turnover and a great opportunity for his offense. That is a tough one to take. They had the interception, but it's taken away by the pass interference penalty. As a defense, you hate to let them move the chains on a penalty, but that's what they did. It's 1st and 10. The RPO, it's complete. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And here comes the offense on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
Another off throw from this quarterback, and they knew coming into the game that they were going to have success. They had to be efficient throwing the football. They have not been that so far. Whether it's been pass pro, bad routes, bad throws, they're not getting it done right now through the air.
3rd and short from the 44, and we might know if they plan to go for it on 4th down by what they call here. Lofts one high and deep. And the throw downfield winds up incomplete, and there's a good reason for that. This guy was being mugged by the defender. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the 1st. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Catch in the middle. It's Cummings. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a 1st down.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
And the Longhorns want to crank the tempo. Lets it go to the end zone. Touchdown, Texas! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
And I like this offense. I like watching it, man. They find a way to make plays and spread the football around. But I tell you what, I think this QB has an eye for this guy because that's 3 TDs now in 4 games. He wants to find him to make plays, really starting to trust that receiver out wide.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators.
He's taking the shot. He's got it inside the 25. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Longhorns sending the offense back onto the field. There's still plenty of time, but you see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now. Brought down at the 28, but it's a 10-yard gain.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy on the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hands.
Offense has it at the 28 on 1st down. They'll leave it with him. He stopped after getting a yard out to the 30.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. You got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Not a lot of daylight. He gets one to the 32.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
QBs and receivers on 3rd down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure, the quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
Fields the punt, wants to make a play. He's going to get loose. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. A dynamic, explosive return. The sliver of daylight exploding through and just vaporizing and reappearing on the other side and housing it.
And punt returners are so quick. You can play touch football in an elevator with them and lose. You can't even get your hand on those. So quick, so elusive. Does such a great job making people miss, but still going full speed up the field to get all the way to the end zone and score the TD.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, it has gone final in the ACC, a matchup we've been keeping a close eye on. Florida State went on the road and just dominated. And that's one way to grab attention on a national level. Make a statement in someone else's house and prove you're legit. And did the Seminoles ever do that? We expected to see a shakeup in the ACC. It's bound to happen in this kind of game. But this type of win is a serious statement.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. Gets it out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 3.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Got 3 on 1st down and 2nd and 7. Trying play action. Dances away. And the rush will get to him at the 25. On that play action fake, the action was the quarterback got clobbered after he faked the handoff.
Yeah, it definitely didn't work. The fake is supposed to be the most important part of that, to try to get the guys to suck up just for a second. But you could tell the offensive line, they weren't able to hold their blocks. Defense got to him and got the sack.
On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
He'll field the punt and see what he can get. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. It's complete. Gets it to the 46-yard line. 1st down for this offense. The Buckeyes heading quickly to the line. Use the play fake. Now to throw. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
He'll try it again on 2nd and 10. This time he's got it. There he goes. Past the 10. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Ohio State. A lot of glorious days in the history of the Buckeyes, and this might put this guy right at the top of the list for a single game.
And that list of names is incredible. Like, we could go down the list of so many guys that have been such great playmakers, so dynamic. So to think about putting yourself in that category, we're going to be talking about winning trophies and this guy being an All-American by season's end.
Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Gonna run it. It's Humphrey. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. Wide receiver going in motion. Just feeds the running back. These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34.
And those plays from a defensive perspective, man, they're just super annoying because now I'm in the worst spot ever, 3rd and manageable. Like, I don't know if you're passing, don't know if you're running. So nice job by this offense keeping this defense off balance and creating a 3rd down opportunity that's in their favor.
Unloads to the wideout. And the defense getting a hand in there on 3rd down.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
They're a couple of yards short of the 1st down, but the offense will stay out there on 4th down. Trying to get it to the marker. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a 1st down. That time they were in their own territory. That took some lower intestinal fortitude.
It definitely did. And listen, if that's what you're going to be, that's who you're going to be. You're going to be that kind of offense and be aggressive, then stick with who you are. And apparently nowadays going for it on your own end, it really ain't nothing anymore.
Pocket breaking down. He'll try to do it himself.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. To the ground with the back. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the 1st down line? Quick timeout by the defense here, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Let's see what they find in the playbook for 3rd and long from the 43. From the gun, wants to pass. Starting to feel a little pressure. He gets the job done, picking up the 1st down, then getting down.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself and slide. Great job, nice athleticism, good decision to take off scrambling and help his offense, but you really are seeing his inexperience shine through here in this game.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. They've got him looking run, but they're going to throw it. Unleashes one deep. Throw into the end zone, and it's picked off. They say no thanks to that pass interference penalty, and they'll take the results of the play. have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Looking to throw on first down. Right down the middle. He's got the tight end. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Lining up from the 34 on first down. Wants to go up top on first down. Quickly out to the tight end. He'll take it up to the 45-yard line, and they stop him and knock him out of bounds. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Buckeyes will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Texas has it again, and here comes the offense. What could go wrong did in the first half, and they start this third quarter at the bottom of the mountain.
Man, that was bad. That was a frying pan to the head. That was a
ran right through the defender, and now he's still running. Ripping through the defense. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Longhorns!
Man, oh man, when you got a weapon like that, you got to find him, and you got to give him the ball in space. You have some plays on your play sheet, and some of them just say, that guy, get him the ball, let him do the rest. Dangerous weapon out of the backfield, catching the football, making the big play.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. They'll go back to work with a sizable margin still up there on the scoreboard. Leaves it with the running back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Man, when you go into the half and you're down, like that speech is usually pretty fiery. A lot of words you can't use on television. And so this coaching staff probably challenged their guys, and I like the way they started this second half so far. Physically, flying around, doing a great job stopping the run. They got to play like this the rest of the game.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with the first down.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays, and you better change your looks up to try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
They'll run it from the gun. Runs through a tackle. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
And the offense has a little bit of success, and what do? They push that turbo button right back on the line, ready to run another play.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. And the Buckeyes want to pick up the tempo. He wants to change this route. They're going to go to the air on 3rd and short. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. The Buckeyes will punt this one away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Kick is in the air. He gets it out to the 17, the cover unit right there to make the stop. torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. Trying to buy a little time, and he cannot, but he does get it back closer to the line of scrimmage. A play-action fake seems simple, but there are some intricacies for the quarterback.
Reese, you're right. The danger for a quarterback in play action is that you're turning your back to the defense when you're trying to execute the play fake to the running back. So you have no idea what's happening behind you, and you have no presence for where that rush is coming from. All of a sudden, you whip your head back around, and oftentimes it's too late. You saw that right there.
Using his legs to buy some time. Just about had another one picked off. They have been way too reckless with the football, throwing it away 3 times already.
We've seen a lot of good hands in the back end of this defense in this game. They've got multiple interceptions. That was not a good example, though. That should have been another one, but they say people play defense for a reason.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches. But you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning.
And it's his 4th interception of the game. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense.